wound is still bleeding. Better bandage it up quick before I bleed out. That's really good. So good I wouldn't say no to some more. Aye, true bliss is a full belly.
There's a water trough in front of the hut. Have a wash there, so you're fit to face the world.
Hans, can you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you, and over Bozhena, too. I feel like a new man. Well, seems Bozhena isn't some quack. She's got a damn good setup here. I did what you asked.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night. That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet, or make sure he never gets up again. So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before Hans beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever I can.
You owe him, all right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion left. It ought to work wonders on him, same as on you. But I can't just give it to him now. First, we have to deal with that fever. The best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
But you said Lethean potion could be fatal. Do you really want to try it on Hans?
He's young and well-nourished. He ought to be able to handle it, as long as we get his fever down first. After all, it worked on you, and considering how he's wounded, we don't have no better option.
All right. If you think so.
I do. But first, we'll be needing them fresh herbs.
All right. Tell me, what do the herbs look like?
Sage has a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious, too. Maybe I could manage to bury him somewhere. Or at least hide him somewhere further off in the woods.
The Lord be praised. I'd be truly glad of that. Do you feel up to it, laddie? You ain't in the best of shape, and digging a grave's a tough job, even for a healthy fella.
Not to worry. I'll see what I can manage. It's on account of us that he's here, anyway. I wouldn't want you to have any more trouble. And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True. I'll bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again, so's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right. I'll get to it.
I've seen fellas in worse states, but in better ones too.
Lord God Almighty, look down on a poor sinner and hear my heartfelt prayer. Protect Sir Hans, and don't let him die. Just as he didn't let me die. Preserve his life. Because he's a young gentleman. Brave and just and a good Christian. And look down on Bozhena too. And let her save Sir Hans. And deliver her from all evil. And grant her grace. Because she herself is merciful and didn't turn us away in our hour of need. Amen.
Amen. Bandages are still quite fresh.
This will be the weapon used by the bastard who cut up Sir Hans.
Damn, his shoulder still hurts like hell. Maybe now it'll tell me when it's gonna rain. Purple flower, sage, there we go. That's it, chamomile.
Right, I've got all the herbs I need. So back to Bozhena on the double. The sooner Hans gets that remedy, the better.
What's that dog making such a fuss about?
Could something have happened at Bozhena's?
Don't! You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit! There's that piece of shit! You're done for! Christ, this fucking butcher! You haven't a chance! No, I'm done!
God in heaven, you look a sight. It's a wonder you're standing on your feet. My word, they worked you over good.
That's nothing but a scratch or two. You should see the other two fellas.
Don't play the hero. I can't see much, but I know what a battered fella looks like. Show me that. I'll try and get you into better shape. I didn't go to the trouble of healing you just so you'd up and die on me. Well now, better?
Much better. Thanks a lot. And are you all right? They didn't harm you?
No, but I think they would have if you hadn't come along.
Who do you think they were?
I don't know what you heard, but when they turned up, they found that dead fella and recognized him as one of theirs. So, they must be with that brute who caught up with you here yesterday. Look here. I almost got slaughtered twice in one day on account of you two. God be praised that my Pavlena wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if you two are knights, then I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Well, I must bow to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Troskey to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Berghoff. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them. Except I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But be careful while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly. But what he needs most now is that remedy. Have you got everything for it?
Here. Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you two the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy, but we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
All right, I'll try. Well, I've been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And not to worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it by heart.
I can read as well as any man, if that's what you mean.
My word. Maybe you really are a noble son.
I'll take the book just in case, but if you give me some advice, I'd be grateful.
Of course. Everything we need is in the hut. Let's get to it. Go to it and we'll get started. First, go to the recipe book. Now find the recipe for chamomile decoction and remember what you have to do. Then get back to the bench and we'll start. All right. First, you have to pour the right base into the cauldron. Choose the right pitcher from the shelf on the left, according to the recipe. So, what did you pour in there?
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Glad to hear it. Now try moving the cauldron over the flame, so you know how it looks when it starts boiling a bit. Hear that bubbling? It's boiling. Remember that well. For most potions, you just have to simmer the herbs for a bit. But sometimes you need to get it good and hot. So you have to get the fire blazing under the cauldron using the bellows. Try fanning it with the bellows to get it boiling. It's boiling. To keep it going, you mustn't stop with the bellows. If you want to cool it down quick, take it off the flames. Try it. Move the cauldron up. Good. Now we'll start with the brewing. Get all the herbs that you need ready. The ones you picked. Put them there on the shelf, so you've got them at hand. All right, let's get to it. First, throw 2 handfuls of chamomile into the cauldron. Before you put it on the flame, turn the sand glass, so you know how long you're brewing it. It's got to be exact. Every grain of sand counts. See? When the sand has flowed out, that's 1 turn. That's how long you have to boil the chamomile. Move the cauldron to the fire and wait until it starts bubbling. Then turn the sand glass. As soon as the sand runs out, take the cauldron off the fire again. Ain't that enough? Take the cauldron off the flames. All right. Now, take 1 handful of sage, grind it with a mortar and pestle, and drop it in the cauldron. Have you ground it? Good. Now, drop it in the cauldron. You don't have to boil it anymore. All you have to do now is decant it. Get a phial and pour it in. Done. Now, let's see what you've brewed.
Here it is.
Ooh, by the smell of it, it's a chamomile decoction the way it should be.
Happy to help.
This should help Hans get better. I'll take care of it now.
All right. Is there anything else I can do to help?
Well, if you feel up to it, I'd be right grateful to you if you was to...
Sure. I'll do the best I can.
When you're done with that, go get some sleep. You won't miss anything, and you need the rest after...
bastard's hard work. He can't be in the ground soon enough.
Those corpses have been taken care of. They're gone to rest by the stream.
Oh, thanks, Henry. I appreciate it. You did what you could. Me and the gravedigger will do the rest, so I ain't stuck with that corpse forever.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine. And I plan to take everything.
Rot in hell!
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The stronger dog fucks the bitches. And war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
I feel like I got thrown by a horse, and then stampeded by a herd of cattle.
Is it really that bad?
More or less. Although the fact that I'm hurting all over means I'm alive. So I reckon it's all good. Considering.
That's surely the healthy way of looking at it. But I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, that oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver in Skalitz turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried me away from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours. Breakfast is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along, and we must save Ma from the clutches of his lordship.
Look who's finally up! Henry! Come and join us!
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Good morning, Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you. Come join our banquet in the midst of these exquisite woods.
I'm glad to see you, too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
It's all the more cause for merrymaking! Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course. I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bozhena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first 2 times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had, some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
You haven't come across them? They're savages from the Hungarian lands. The core of Sigismund's army. Who knows what heathen gods they pray to? They hold nothing sacred. They pillage, rape, and murder. They razed my hometown of Skalitz to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleyov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. What could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
Well, there must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, audentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
Ah, it's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
Ah, but you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
True enough. Hey, how did you manage to get the best of that cutthroat the other night when you hauled me here?
To be honest, by a stroke of luck. We were fighting outside, but that fucker got a hold of his falchion and let me have it in the guts. I thought I was done for. But I groped around and found a pail and whacked him with it with the last of my strength. And luckily I hit him a nice crack right on the noggin. Can't remember a thing after that.
My word. Fortune really does favour you. You chose your motto well.
Once we get back to Ratai, I'll have it inscribed on my shield.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that spade. We can't manage without it.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you. And we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have rightfully earned the gratitude of the House of Lipa for all time. If you should ever find yourself in need, the doors of Perkstein shall always be open to you.
Thank you, sir. Though, I'm not sure I could find the way to Perkstein. Hopefully we'll never need to take up your offer. Sorry for coming late, Ma. I got held up.
How come you live out here?
That's just the way it is.
Ah. Can you tell me something about these parts?
What can I say? The village of Sheleov is nearby, and to the north of Sheleov is Takhov. There's no love lost between the folks from Sheleov and Takhov.
Well, I don't suppose those are the...
It ain't far from Sheleov to Semin. Sir Jan, the owner, he got a big stud farm with fine horses, and down by the water, a mill. The biggest village in these parts is Troskowitz, what lies at the foot of the castle. Then there's Nabakov Fortress, Sir Yaramir's seat. There's a mill, but Pavlena knows more gossip about folk around here. Take care.
I'm sorry. I wasn't...
Are you managing here?
We don't complain. We mostly live off the woods. And when we need something else, I weave baskets. And me and Ma brew ointments and potions. Then sometimes folk come here to us when it's something serious.
How come you live here?
Oh, that's hard to explain. And Ma and... Look, that's our affair, and...
Is anything interesting?
Them bandits is riding roughshod over the place. But I reckon...
You got that right.
And there's to be a big wedding. Young Lord Semin's gonna marry the daughter of the bailiff of Troskowitz, Thrush. That's the biggest thing happening. Apart from that...
You said you'd shoot arrows at the queue?
Yeah, I'm pretty handy with it. I train up there, on the cliff, whenever I have a free moment. And if they'd let me take part in the tournament at Troskey Castle, but that'll never happen. So, take care then. Good day to you.
God be with you.
Finally! Where do you keep dallying?
My apologies, sir. I'm here now. We can get going.
Henry, don't provoke me.
I don't think Troskey Castle is going to go anywhere. So what's the rush for all of a sudden?
We have a crucial mission and things are already fucked up quite enough. I intend to return to Ratai with good news and to do it quickly. Let's go!
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was... Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I know how it sounds, but I saw him. Believe me. I'd never mistake his ugly face after all that happened.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes. We'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. But I see you haven't wasted any time and found yourself a weapon to replace that sword. That's good. You never know when you might need it around here. Come on, let's get going. You're...
I hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! You know who I am?
No, we fucking don't! am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai.
Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send 2 vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching, in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not. Get your shitty hands off me!
No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
Have you two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Oh, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
Well, I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? Well, I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
And the first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
I suppose you're right. We'd be taken for total idiots.
Well, you could shrug that off. But me, we've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
I'm just as much to blame for their deaths as you. We're in this together.
At least we should give them a proper burial as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Bozhena's. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
What's that woman from the pond?
Or the one you gave us away for?
Fine bear at that witch.
Wench!
What I tell ya?
Feisty. What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her!
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here. Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Doesn't half taste good today.
Nicely settled.
Oh? What was that?
That is good.
Poor Captain Thomas might never get back on his feet. Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ!
Lord von Burghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a more then.
But the stuff's
I'll be right
undrinkable.
back.
Leave it out. Once you got through the first one, you knock it back like it.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on, are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
You were attacked at the pond. You, some other women, and so were we as it happened.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
And I have no idea why you're trying to deny it. I saw you with my own eyes. You were washing laundry there with some other girls.
Well, I reckon you weren't looking too much at faces, eh? Clear off, you lecher.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Please, I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Oh, shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
One of them nomads is an acrobat who does all kinds of tricks. An acrobat, eh?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
What for?
To get to work. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
Can't it wait? We've got coin, just...
Oh, why? We'll pay you back when we see you again, which is never. Over there by the gate, my old man was meant to take them into the house. But it's the second door in there leads to the pantry. That's where I need you to hold. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the... If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy. And...
Carrying sacks? Sorry, but we'd be wasted on that kind of work. We can do a lot more than just lugging stuff from place to place.
I can't wait to hear this.
Before we were ambushed, we were carrying an important message. If you need someone to negotiate for you,
Negotiate what? I can handle the odd quarrel over a bill. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so is that clear?
All right.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like you. Where are you actually from?
From far away.
I ain't been further than, but I know this.
I heard some talk about some wedding being...
Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Troskowitz bailiff. And it's going to be when rich folks get married. That's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets it.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are?
Who is this?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort in the... Old Jan Samin is the head of the family. And his son's called Olda. And it's him who's... There used to be a rich family.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other and show on...
Could I get to the wedding?
I don't know about that. What's that?
Oh.
If you want to find out more, young Svaja there, he's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at art.
Is that all you know about...
What else is there to know?
What's life like?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war, but then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around.
Where can I find work here?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. Try Radovan the smith for one. He come to mention it. He sat just round the corner there. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now. You know what they say about Miller.
I've heard things, all right.
Well then...
Is this the only time...
In Troskowitz it...
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
Where do you want the sack?
To the pantry. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you.
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the town.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend.
And careful with them sacks. Here it comes.
Going down nicely, is it?
Look out!
How are you?
Could be better.
Cheers.
Cheers!
I'd like a beer.
God be with you.
And with you.
Good day.
Good day.
Greetings to you.
Likewise, lad.
I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?
Well, I'm not from around here.
An ordinary tradesman, you...
I find that hard to believe. Me and
You look like beggars, but you talk like learned fellows. You two are an...
Do me a favor. It's obvious they're two hard-up students. What do they call you, lad?
I'm Henry.
So, Henry, what was it you were after?
Since you've joined us.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding.
That's right.
Everyone wants to go.
And anyone who's not invited is trying to worm their way in somehow. Not me, though. I couldn't give it.
Because you weren't invited, eh?
Of course I was invited. But what do I care about young Samine and the bailiff's lass? We're all just playthings in God's hands.
Trying to sound clever again, are you, Crazel?
All I'm saying is that these petty affairs of men leave me cold.
Sod that! It's gonna be big! Even Lord von Burgo himself is gonna be at the wedding. And he hardly ever shows his face in public.
Could someone get to the wedding without an invitation?
Someone? You mean?
Well, I think it might be possible, using certain methods. Play of light and shadow, a cloak as black as night.
What are you going on about? More Miller's witchery?
All right. I won't say another word.
Semin's bound to keep a damn close eye on his big day, so you won't get in without an invitation.
Would it be possible to get to von Burgov, even though he keeps...
I don't know. He's either locked away in his castle or traveling, so the only chance of meeting him is at the wedding.
And everybody will want something from him. He'll be dancing for joy, I can tell you.
So, how can I get to the wedding?
The best thing would be to find a job that we needed there.
Aye. There's always lots of hands needed at a wedding. As the hours pass and the guests raise their goblets, they'll lower their guard.
I'd like to ask about the wedding again.
You've heard all you need to know.
I'm looking for work.
And what can you do?
I can do a lot of things. But mainly, I'm a blacksmith.
Bugger me. A blacksmith, you say? That makes two of us. And my apprentices have just vanished along with my goods, the bastards. When I'm swamped with work. If you're not talking shit and you can wield a hammer, we'll shake on it. And if you prove your worth, I'll even take you to that wedding.
Why would you work at a forge? Come and work for me at the mill. It's a cleaner job, and easier. And I can get you to that wedding, too.
Leave it out, you rogue. I asked him first.
Interesting offers. I'll have a think about it.
Don't leave it too fucking long, or it might be too late.
If you're after more than just brute force and fire, you'll find me in Lower Samine.
And me in Takov.
I haven't been here before, and I'd like to learn something about this region.
What's there to say? It's not a bad place to live.
It's usually peaceful, thank God. I don't like too much excitement.
You've got good reason to hide, I reckon.
That's enough of your mudslinging. It's actually good to live in an estate where the Lord's away most of the time.
That's true. Just a couple of villages, rocks, fields, not even a church worth the name, in fact. That's despite Otto van Burgo being one of the kingdom's most powerful nobles. The darkest place is under the candlestick, as they say.
When his lordship isn't in these parts, his chamberlain stands in for him. Ulrich von Schomberg's his name.
I saw him on the gate tower when he sent us packing like beggars.
Aye, he's a right haughty bastard. On the other hand, he can be negotiated with.
If you can get to him.
So it's peaceful here?
Aye. Except there's more trade right now because of the...
But we'll be back to our old ways in a month from now. Thank God.
About that job.
Drop by at lower...
Or attack off Smithy.
I've got to be going.
Wait, there's something else I want to ask. What's your story? Are you students? Apprentices?
You ain't, are you? You look too scruffy.
We're messengers who were supposed to deliver a letter to Sir Otto von Berghoff. We set up camp down by the pond, and in the evening we were attacked by bandits. They slaughtered our men. It was only through luck that we saved our skins. We lost everything, even the letter. So they wouldn't let us into the castle.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'd send you packing myself. But it's true, there's bandits marauding in these parts. They're getting bolder and bolder. Even attacked a patrol from the castle recently.
Aye, these are evil times. Nothing ever happened like that in King Charles's day.
Farewell then, Henry.
Farewell.
Oh, I feel a bit sick.
What did I do to...
Greetings.
To you two.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
So I noticed, and you took your time coming back to me. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Berghoff is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Sir Older, the son of a respected nobleman from nearby Semine Fort, is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, the local bailiff. It's the talk of the town. Invitation only, it seems. But getting to the wedding isn't as impossible as it might seem. There'll be lots of jobs to do for it. So we could get there as help for the blacksmith, or miller, and maybe someone else.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Berghoff will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
Like I said, there's going to be a lot of work involved in a wedding like that. That's our chance.
Work. Well, if you want. But how will you get me to the wedding?
Well, I thought we could both get jobs there.
I'm sure there are other options.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
It'll be done in a jiffy. Don't worry.
That's not the point, Henry. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar, as if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work.
But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
I understand. Well, I'm in your service, so I'll carry all the sacks. Even your share.
Thank you, Henry. And don't worry, I'll pay you back for your hard work.
I'm on it.
Thanks again for accepting it with humility. And fear not, friend, I'll repay the favor.
How? Well, giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
That would be kind of you.
I knew you'd be pleased.